So, oh good, my microphone's working. So, a quick catch up after Military Odyssey. Whoop, whoop. Left yesterday, late afternoon. So on the Sunday, so I didn't stay till the Monday. Um, got a few shout out and bits and pieces to do. Random bits I got. There's nothing exciting, but I know for some reason you guys watch these videos. I still have no clue why, as I tell you when you say that's the guy that makes the videos. I'm like, yeah, I love your video. I watch them all. Why do you watch them all? Why do you watch any of them? You should have turned off by now. If you haven't turned off by now, there's something wrong with you. Mind you, you're in this hobby, so yeah, we already know there's something wrong with each one of us. Shout out to Mick Dunsford. Hey Mick. One of the guys from the Shackrats was looking rather ill. Well, I say rather ill. I think the word's fucking ill. He was just grey and he really didn't look healthy at all. So everybody was reasonably worried. And yesterday noticed that he'd sort of disappeared with one of the other guys. A couple of the other guys just sort of vanished, and they rushed him to hospital. So Mike, I hope you are a lot better, bright and cheery and frustrating as usual, and back to abusing George as soon as possible. But seriously, hope you're feeling all right, mate. Because yeah, you didn't look good at all. Um, a quick shout out to Stuart Griggs and now. It's nice chatting with you guys again. Leah Maddie, who I caught briefly. Dom from To Hell and Back, who I probably haven't seen since the old War and Peace days. It was nice to quickly bump into you, even though I think you were very puzzled as to who I was, which kind of made me chuckle. Josh and Finn Sapsford, nice chatting to you boys again, and Sam Hunt, who all three of those are doing modern shit now, as I call it. I don't know, something about just putting on modern gear and laying around, and I think they only do it because they get to use a mobile phone. That I can't think of any other reason. Sorry I missed Sarah, as in Sarah Sapsford. I know you're not married. Gutted I missed you. Haven't seen you for fucking donkey's years either. Interestingly, walking back from chatting to the Sapsfords and the Hunt, Stuart McKay, no relation, from the Screaming Eagles went, "Ah, Dan, want to work with you?" And that never usually starts well. That normally ends up with "you're a fucking asshole" or something like that. But it then followed, after me going, "Oh God," it actually followed with, "I want to say thank you." The fuck? Nobody says thank you to me for anything. Usually you're a complete bellend and we hate you. So sort of taken aback, I went, "What the hell have I done to deserve a thanks?" And he then said he discovered my videos and has watched the lot and has improved little bits and pieces in the Screaming Eagles. And I was like, wow. More so, wow, because I was always told by a certain individual that, they do things their way and it will never change. No amount of help or advice will ever improve the little things that they do wrong. And every group does things wrong. Let's not bullshit our way into believing that everybody is perfect and we all do this to the maximum. I don't care who you are, your impression can be improved. If this goes to the guys in the group and myself as well, there is always something you can do, whether it's a big thing or a little thing. And of course, whether you accept that information and actually want to improve, because there are some guys who just don't, and that's fine as long as they don't go around telling everybody what they do is correct. That's my biggest bugbear in the hobby. I don't care if you look like a sack of shit. Don't then say they all look like sacks of shit back then. That's my biggest bugbear. So yeah, so he said about bits and pieces that I'd said in the videos. They've started doing it, and I said, funnily enough, we came past. I think it was Friday evening, and a few of them were still sort of milling around, sort of taking things down and sort of taking the display down for the evening. And little George said, "CC2, that looks like a CC2." And I went, "Yeah, you're right." And then another one, we were like, "This is interesting. Okay, okay, cool." Because I know they'd mentioned to us, I think on our first public show, why are your jumpsuits so dark? And we said about CC2ing stuff. We were like, okay, this is interesting. So, we sort of see things changing. Didn't really think we had anything to do with it at all. So when the Stuart came over, I was like, oh, I felt quite smug that I've sort of inadvertently helped improve the hobby in somewhat tiny way. So it's kind of nice to see that, the bollocks that I spout does sometimes have an impact on us for the good, not just for the bad. Oh, I was chatting with one of their members, and I can't remember your guys' names. Sorry, Stuart, sorry, everybody, the Screaming Eagles. I am fucking appalling remembering names. So, if you were the guy I was talking to about also owning a dog shit brown rubberized bullshit crappy small war tent, sorry, I can't remember names. I think you're a PFC. I think. Yeah, I brought the damn thing in today and it's just chucked outside. It's a bit damp and I fucking hate that tent. It's fucking horrible. But comparing it to the colour of one of the guys on the Shackrats groups, actually, weirdly, it's not that far off, but I still consider it to be, well, let's not beat around the bush. Fucking wrong. Just wrong. There's no other way to put it. It's just wrong. If I ever do it, ever put the thing up at a Mistrop event, I will hide the entire thing under a parachute. It still retains the perfect shape of a small wall. You just don't want to be seeing that brown monstrosity. So yeah, I get you sort of hide yours at the back, you know. It is what it is. We've both got duped in different ways, but you know. Only a few purchases. Oh, let's not fast forward. I said, for those who don't know the Odyssey show, it's a multi-period, multinational, bit of everything, and it really is. One minute you've got Saxons coming down the path past your display, and the next minute you've got Rhodesians from like the 70s and 80s in their little hot pants who are camped next to us. But yeah, watching them rub suntan lotion over each other early in the morning is quite a sight to behold in their tiny little shorts. Yeah, I did resist the urge to whistle because, you know, they don't know who I am and it would have looked really weird. And there is everything, which, you know, when you want to go around snapping pictures of things, it's especially the Vikings and the Saxons and all that sort of era, the early Napoleonics. There's a lot of colour there to get in the camera, so it does look quite good. It's quite good fun just snapping pics. Weather just about held off, for those of you who know. You know, it was either hot and sunny or it just tried to rain, which then luckily went. Eventually found a copy of Frying Pan to Mittersill, a good 502 book. I need to go and digest that at some point, have a flick through. Been after it for a while. Oh my god, what is the matter with me? One of the guys in Mistrop 44 recommended this a while ago. Everybody ignored him. Isn't that right, Rob? Nobody ever listens to you. Who wants airborne stew, by the way? If you do, let me know. I'll tell the chef. Sorry, Rob. Can't help it. Because I've got to go through that and bookmark a bits and pieces. Already seen a couple of little bits. I went, oh, okay, that's interesting. Other than that, a post-war field manual. Now, why am I buying post-war shit? Do you probably wonder? 53, only because it covers the M1A1 carbine, and I don't think it's in any of the World War II ones that I've seen. I could be wrong there. And if so, it's probably only a cursory glance. But it's got all of the sort of stock schematics and you know, bits and pieces. And I thought, you know what? It might actually be quite interesting. And for the sake of a fiver, yeah, exactly, a massive fiver, I thought, yeah, it can go on the shelf as one of my very few post-war items. Now, the win when it comes to purchases for the weekend has to be something that Fluffy spotted. Sorry. Sarah spotted. So Fluffy saw this on the table, and I said, "Oh, what is something in that? What can you open it for me?" So I, picked it from the table, and I went, "Oh my god, I know what that is," and I'm sure some of you will. It's quite a distinctive looking box, and if you get it in the light, you can see the stamped in US box. I went, "Oh shit, that's a M1912 squad cleaning kit for the 1911 pistol." Well, I said, "Well, that's interesting," and opened it up, and inside is some little gems. You have iodine swabs, October 42, so quite early. There's only got 3 in there, but that's that's a steal, that is. And normally they're dated May 44. Weirdly, you see a lot of that. British burn cream in its packet. I mean, the Carlisle box isn't that exciting, but it's usually about a tenner, aren't they? So a couple of small white bandages in its rolls. And again, yeah, there's a few bits in here. An assortment of brilliant fingers, assortment of plasters. But I quite like these because each one has the little soldier in it. So clearly wartime, US made, and they're all on the floor. Cleveland, Ohio, Fifth Avenue. Acme Cotton Products. Good old Acme. They seem to make just about everything known to man. And how much was this priced at, dare I hear you ask? It was priced at £35. So me being me, he said, take 30 quid for it, mate. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He was well chuffed. I was like, oh, that's even better then, as long as you're happy. And I thought, well, the tin's worth that. Let alone the iodine, which, 30, 40 quid for the iodine. Tenner for the Carlisle. Other bits and pieces, maybe fiver. 10 quid. That's no brainer. So, I mean, the box has been sprayed green and it's got this awful sprayed on first aid for emergency use only sort of thing. I don't know if it's supposed to be simulating the sort of vehicle mounted, the vehicle first aid cans. You get, the first aid one, you get the chemical one. I don't know if it's supposed to be replicating that or not, but I think that paint will be removed and the items can go in the display cabinet for the first aid sort of medical stuff that we've got. Sorry, I feel like I need to burp or hiccup. Other than those bits and pieces, when we came back, there was a big box on the doorstep, which had probably been left there for over a day, and the radio operated manuals are here. Now, I thought they were already here, but I fucked up. So I've taken an order for some, which is for Adrian. Adrian, your parcel will go out today, because these hadn't actually arrived. I dropped the bollock, and when I came to pack it, I discovered they weren't, and I had to go to the show, so I didn't really have time to say anything, and then forgot all about it. So the radio manuals are in, and they contain all of the sort of diagrams of frequencies and codes and all sorts of how to be a radio operator. Yeah, self-explanatory really. I will say sell these separately. I'll also sell a bundle with the SCR 536, so a 611 to those who speak real language, and then the SCR 300 or BC 1000. I will do those in a bundle. I'll have to work out what they cost me and what my markup will be, but I'll keep it as cheap as possible as usual, because we're all in this to hobby. I only wanted some for the guys in the unit. They're just handy things to have. Other than that, I've got to get all the shit sorted for Victory Show. Oh my god! So you just come back and you're already packing again. Don't we love it? It'll be the third show on the bounce. So I've got piles of kit all around the room. Anything else I have forgotten about? Oh, I was chatting with he was the 33rd Infantry, and this is sort of, I don't even know what era, the Red Coat era, which is taking pictures of them. And he said, oh, you're wearing the uniform of one of my fellow countrymen, having a good American accent. Yeah, then we just got chatting about different things, and he's come over to go through the archives at Kew. And I was like, really? Come on? He said, yeah. And I got invited to come with these guys because I know them. So he's doing Odyssey. And then he's off to Kew to record as much information as he can on the very, very fine details of the unit that they portray in the States, the British unit. And I was fascinated by the level of detail that he goes to. He's a bit like us in the crazy ass ways where we look for the very small print on what makes your unit your unit. Those isms, as we call them. And he was explaining about the flags. There was 2 flags at the camp, and when he looked through the records, he discovered that they ordered 10. A bit puzzled as to why they wanted 10. And there was 2 to go at the front or the back of the camp, and the others would mark out the area they line up for parade. And it was those little... I went, yeah, I love things like that. So you've worked out how many they had and why they had them, and now what to do with them. Amazing. And he says he's going down to Kew, and he's going to go through them and trawl for every detail that he can get. And then take all that information back across the channel. Well, channel? No, that'll be France. Back across the ocean then. So yeah, I did say to him, could you send me a message through the website, because I'd love to share more of the story of the fact that you do this, and where this is leading you to and what you can improve. Because it's great that other units have that crazy level of detail. And I want to share the information of his unit as well, because why not? He deserves it. What else? It was interesting seeing one of our members getting whipped by like a dominatrix on stage. Well, in front of the live band. Anyway, that was fairly entertaining. I think as soon as he said he was a naughty little acorn, and got whipped the first couple of times, and he yelped and went ow, 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 and then hopped off, I think he regretted his decision. So I won't mention him by name, Harry, but it was very amusing, and it is on video, and I even thought about sharing it in this, so you're lucky I didn't. Other than that, victory show next. I have got a couple of links that have been sent to me to react to, dear God, and I will try and do these in a minute. I need to eat something first. So let's see what torturous videos I've been sent to react to. I'm only going to say these are never my fault. You guys send me these videos and I react to them in my usual biphonic state. So that's enough about Odyssey and the bits and bobs I got from there and the people that, you know, weren't very well and such like. Anyway, enough rambling. I will get on to reviewing something very shortly. Right, laters.